Hey, what's up, guys? Okay, so I just kind of want to give you guys the rundown on what has gone on as far as the accident I was in. I was in an accident, and I was stopped at a stop sign at a highway, not like like a state highway. So it's a two-lane road, and I was stopped waiting on traffic, and I looked, had a couple trucks come, looked again, and it was really, really foggy. And I thought it was clear. I pulled out, and this dude did not have his lights on. Ohio Revised Code 4513.03, Section A, subsection 2 says that if visibility is less than 1,000 feet, you must have your lights on. So, because this fucker didn't have his lights on, I didn't see him. So I pulled out, and he creamed my car. He never even touched his brake. I broke my wrist in the accident. It was messed up, and I went to the hospital immediately, and in an ambulance, and I was in the hospital, and a state trooper came in and wanted to get my side of the story or whatever, and he ends up giving me 3 tickets, no seatbelt. I got a no seatbelt, no operator's license, and failure to yield, right? And I have a sneaky suspicion that he did not charge the other driver for 4513.03. Pretty positive. And the only reason I think that is because, this was after the accident. I was in the hospital. He done left the accident. I don't think he tracked the guy down to his house and gave him a ticket. I just don't think, he would have done that. I think he would have just, screw it. It's all on me now, right? Well, anyway, so the reason I'm fighting this is because, so I had a pretrial, and I went to my pretrial, and it lasted like literally 30 seconds before the prosecutor was cussing at me and set it for trial. And that's what I'm going to play for you real quick, is that pretrial I had.
I'm just now the prosecutor.
Okay.
Why do you have a license?
I don't need one. It's constitutionally protected, man. It's been upheld by the Supreme Court many times. It's constitutional law.
No, it isn't.
It is.
You do not have a right to drive without a license.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm not a corporate citizen. I'm not one of this.
Don't pull this shit with me.
I'm not pulling nothing, man. I do not need a license. I'm telling you, it's been federally upheld by the Supreme Court. Okay. And that was it. He set it for trial. I didn't even hear what he had to offer me. And don't care either way, because this is an issue that needs to be addressed. Now, this issue is deeper than I originally thought, because I've been digging into everything I can for my defense, because I know I'm going to need it. I know this guy's going to do probably the bare minimum. He's going to rely on his Ohio Revised Code definitions, and if he even does that, I know he's going to pull up case law stating that the state has the right to regulate regulate traffic for the safety and welfare of the people, right? Well, that's good and dandy, because the Supreme Court has, in People v. Notas, they stated what they meant when they said permissible regulation. And so they made guidelines. If you had committed a crime and are imposed on sanctions, you don't have the right to travel. if you what they also meant by the safety and welfare regulation is stop signs, speed limits, no passing zones. I mean, that's the kind of regulation they were talking about. But for some reason, they tend to have the notion that they can take the private property of the people. And that's not the case. See, we the people, we have the right to private property. We have the right to acquire property, and we have the right to use that property to the fullest extent it is able. These are the people's roads. Yes, the roads belong to the state. The people are the state. The prosecution is going to be there in place for the state, but it's not the same state of the people. So what we're going to do, we're going to go here, we're going to go to Ohio Revised Codes Motor Vehicle Definition.
According to Ohio laws, motor vehicle means any vehicle, including mobile homes and recreational vehicles, that is propelled or drawn by power other than muscular power or power collected from overhead electric trolley wires.
So basically, they say that anything on the road is a motor vehicle. So their motor vehicle codes apply to anybody in a motor vehicle, right? Well, that's state law. And one thing I know is in Article 6 of the Constitution, it states that any federal law or the laws of the United States or the Constitution have any conflict with any state law, then federal law and the Constitution will supersede whatever that state law says, rendering it null and void. Title 18, Chapter 2, Section 31, Definition 6. The term motor vehicle means every description of carriage or other contrivance propelled or drawn by mechanical power and used for commercial purposes on the highway in the transportation of passengers and property or property and cargo. You go down to definition 10 and it says that commercial purposes is transporting people, property, or cargo, any combination thereof, for any fee, fare, sum, rate, or charge, directly or indirectly, with any business for profit. So that's the real term of motor vehicle. See, we the people have delegated an authority to the state for the safety and welfare, but they have gotten things way out of context. They're taking more rights from the people than they ever should have been able to. The right to travel was established in the Articles of Confederation. We incorporated that document into the Constitution. So that's part of my defense. I just kind of wanted to, I was talking to a couple people and kind of wanted to just kind of put this out there. It's better than sending a bunch of messages. I am going to share some more things here in probably about a week. Let me get my opening argument together, and I got to put in a couple motions. I'm going to try and have it dismissed beforehand. I'm going to write my governor, the senators, and the attorney general, and I am going to write them about this. See, it's damn, what's that case law? There's case law. I just found it, and what it said was, it says definitions are imperative to understanding the intent of the legislature. The intent of the legislature, right? To ignore the definition section is to refuse to give any lawful effect to that law you're statutes, right? That statute that they're trying to put in effect has no effect in law if you do not take the definitions for consideration. So what does that say when the state of Ohio changes a definition to broaden its meaning so it applies to people it was never supposed to apply to? It is clearly against federal law. This is the kind of shit that we, the people, need to pay more attention to. You know, America used to be the greatest country on earth. Absolute greatest. It's not that great anymore. And I feel horrible saying that because I've had family and friends and lots of people die for this nation. But they've been dumbing the people down to the point where they're ruining this country. You know, there's 9 organizations did testing on the educational systems of 214 countries around the world, and the all powerful, ever so smart United States. You know where we tested at? You know where we landed in math? 38th place. In science, 24th. They also did a study on all the countries that need to improve their educational system. United States was number 2. Out of the best schools, academic systems in the entire world, they had a list of 20. The United States was not on it. I've been saying it for a long time. They've been dumbing the people down. They want to keep you stupid. They want to keep you just smart enough to learn how to work the machines and produce a good labor. That's all they want you for. It's actually pathetic. The people need to do something better than what we've been doing.